They say Nevada's where you go to disappear. Just endless sky and silence, so thick you can hear your own thoughts echo. But let me tell you, some people will chase you clear out to the desert just to tell you how to live your life. And if you'd told me, back when I was still a U.S. Marshal dodging bullets and hauling fugitives, that my real showdown would be over zoning laws and a lady with a clipboard, I'd have laughed you off my porch. But here we are. You want wild? Try facing off with a homeowners association hellbent on annexing your freedom, armed with nothing but forged paperwork and a god complex. You know what I mean? After my divorce and that last soul-grinding trial, I left the badge and big city behind, traded adrenaline for engine grease, rented a 5-acre patch of Nevada grit just out of reach from civilization, and told myself, this time, peace and quiet. So I rolled my modular house to the north edge, welded up a garage bay for restoring old off-roaders, strung a metal gate with a keypad, and set my dog, Tank, loose on any tumbleweed with ambition. Nearest neighbor was a golf cart ride away, just how I wanted it. Sure, Crescent Ridge Estate sat over the hill, all pastel boxes and million-dollar mailboxes, but my land was out of their HOA, stamped and sealed by the county. I checked 3 times. Those first months felt like rehab for the soul. Hot coffee, stargazing, rewiring an old Willis for a rancher, watching Tank chase shadows, everything whispering, leave me be. Then came that Jeep, a beast of a machine, sandblasted and sun-bleached, the kind you only see in war movies or nightmares. My client dropped it off and vanished. I was 20 minutes into a grease-stained daydream when a silver Lexus rolled up, window gliding down like it expected applause. Out steps Karen Milbrook, helmet hair, pearls, clipboard, voice tight as a bank vault. Excuse me, she barks, and suddenly my property line feels like a border checkpoint. She calls herself the HOA president, tells me I'm in violation of community standards for running a commercial garage. I almost choke on my own grin. Ma'am, this isn't your HOA. This land's private. The rules don't apply. She gets this look, like I just spoke a language she doesn't allow at board meetings. She hits me with HOA expansion talk, visual corridors, and zero tolerance. But all I see is a woman who wants control more than oxygen. I point at my no soliciting sign and remind her that trespassing's a thing in Nevada too, but she's unmoved. Remove the Jeep or face enforcement, she threatens, then backs her Lexus out like a retreating general. Tank barks, his only comment. At first, I thought it was just bluster. Then I found the letter, stamped with a knockoff HOA seal, and signed, demanding I vacate within 72 hours for community violations. Not a single legal citation, just a cheap watermark and threats. I laughed so hard Tank thought I'd lost it, then scanned the letter, because you learn quick in law enforcement. A paper trail is your best friend. Next came a sign, private property, not part of HOA. Unauthorized access will be prosecuted. I installed cameras, motion activated, feeding footage straight to a cloud server, because, well, old habits die hard. The next twist? Jerry, a sunburned neighbor with the look of a man who survived more HOA meetings than tornadoes, knocks on my door. Karen's been roping in every property near the perimeter. He whispers, warning me about her scare tactics, letters, threats, slow burn harassment. Most people just fold, he says, but grins when I tell him she picked the wrong guy this time. He's not wrong. That night, cameras catch a black SUV creeping past my gate. Stops, reads my new sign, drives on. I file a report, just in case. Next day, another letter, this one in my mailbox, pushing voluntary compliance. No contact info, just veiled threats. I double down. More cameras, backup hard drives offsite, every doc scanned and sorted, because Karen's not just obsessed, she's organized. Saturday, dawn barely broken, 2 vehicles appear. Pickup truck with a homemade HOA logo, black Jeep trailing. Out climb 2 enforcers, khakis, polos, tactical vests that look more party store than police. Karen's in command mode, shades on, waving her clipboard like a badge. She tries immediate corrective action. Her muscle moves for my gate, drills in hand, but I stop them cold. Phone in one hand, camera rolling. You're trespassing. I've got the deed, the GPS, the whole damn county map. She threatens to call the cops. I offer to dial for her. She does, but the story she spins, claims I'm armed and dangerous, calls for urgent backup, says she's in fear for her safety. Sirens show up, deputies step out. One's a buddy from registering my out-of-state plates. He takes one look at my paperwork and tells Karen she's out of her jurisdiction. Her goons look ready to quit. Karen's jaw could crack granite. Cops warn her, trespass again, it won't be a chat. Yeah, that happened. But Karen's not just persistent. She's creative. County records suddenly flag my parcel as pending HOA integration, like magic. My buddy Nate finds the paperwork online, filed by, guess who? K. Millbrook. No hearings, no owner consent. I call the county, get Cheryl, a clerk who's seen enough weird for 3 lifetimes. Send me your proof, she says. I do, and by lunch, she's flagged the fraud. That's when I call Leslie Gray, property attorney, professional HOA nemesis, and the kind of friend you want when someone's forging public documents. She finds doctored maps, fake meeting minutes, even claims I voted to join the HOA. That's a felony, she mutters, and starts sharpening her legal knives. I install more cameras, trail cams in the scrub, because at this point I half expect Karen to show up dressed as a cactus. New week, new game. I'm summoned to a public HOA hearing, a real 3-ring circus. Leslie tells me, she wants a show, give her a reckoning. So we prep, every map, video, audio file, even a recording of Karen threatening to kick out the ex-cop one way or another. My tech buddy Travis sets up a portable PA, and we roll into the Crescent Ridge Community Center like we're launching a campaign. Rooms packed, residents, local press, YouTubers hungry for drama. Karen takes the podium, paints me as a dangerous squatter, throws up doctored maps and blurry fence photos, reads off fake meeting minutes. When she calls for a vote of enforcement, Leslie hands her a cease and desist right in front of the cameras. Then I step up. Real maps on the screen, videos of her crew trespassing, audio of her plotting at a wine night. You could feel the room turn. Board members blanch, residents murmur, and then Cheryl from the county walks in with a document. This land is permanently outside HOA authority. The crowd erupts. Karen sits down, beaten but not broken. If you thought that was the end, you haven't met Karen. She files a formal county complaint, slaps me with a $9,000 fine for commercial activity. Leslie spots the scam instantly. It's all based on fake filings, reclassifying my property under a bogus overlay. We dig deeper, find a pattern of fraud, backdated contracts, and a friendly insider at county records. Marcus, a state auditor buddy, uncovers it all, and we prep for court. County code enforcement shows up, armed with tablets and tape measures, citing me for structural overages based on Karen's fantasy maps. I hand them the official county letter, threaten my own legal action, and watch them slink off, muttering about paperwork. Meanwhile, the HOA spreads rumors, calls me a threat to property values, dangerous, uncooperative. Travis says, go public. So we do. A drone video, a walk and talk laying out the whole mess. By Monday, it's viral. Folks reach out, other HOA victims, locals, even people from other states who've crossed Karen's path. Then comes the break. County investigators open a fraud probe, subpoena Karen and her cronies. Board members resign, leak evidence, and the press runs wild. The icing on the cake? A leaked HOA meeting tape where Karen, thinking the mix off, sneers, he's trash and I'm taking that land. He can sue me when I'm done. That clip explodes online. County suspends the HOA, freezes accounts, dissolves the board. Leslie grins. We're not just going to win. We're going to bury her. The trial is part soap opera, part reckoning. The judge reads the charges, falsifying documents, misusing funds, forging maps, lying to law enforcement. Leslie drops the full arsenal, maps, drone footage, notary statements, the infamous audio clip. Karen squirms, her lawyer sweats. The judge doesn't buy a single excuse. After 3 hours, the verdict, guilty on every count. Her HOA privileges revoked, assets frozen, federal investigation pending. I'm awarded damages, legal fees, emotional distress, the whole package, and, more important, a permanent injunction. No one will ever try to annex my land again. On the way out, Leslie hands me an apology letter from the reformed HOA. They offer to pay for new fencing, security, whatever I need. I hang the letter next to my old Marshal's badge in the garage, but honestly, I just want peace. Travis and I install a new gate, reinforced, motion sensors, the works. The plaque says, private property. Trespass equals lawyer time. Every morning, I walk past that sign, look at the empty sky, and breathe deep. Rumor is, Karen moved to Arizona, probably lobbying for new shrub height rules as we speak. But here, on my own stubborn patch of desert, the dust finally settles. I didn't win because I fought harder. I won because I refused to be bullied, and I had the receipts to prove it. Yeah, this was never about bylaws. It was about freedom. So let me ask you, where do you draw the line? When does a community become a cartel? And when does standing up for yourself become everyone's business? Drop your thoughts below. Who's right? Who's wrong? And what does justice really look like when the paperwork hits the fan? Let's hear it.